Hey everyone, it's Amador, and today I have a project and a weird angle that I don't normally record in because of the shape of my project. And this project is a design team project, a very late design team project. Gina, I am so sorry for Gina's designs, and of course I will leave a link to the store in the description. You guys check it out. She sells so many laser cuts, laser cut chipboard, from organization tools to just decorative things, layouts, all sorts of stuff. And I used all sorts of stuff on this project as well. My entire project, it was more of a challenge from P. P is Whimsical Endeavors here on YouTube, where she challenged me to do something steampunk, monochromatic, or something like that, in like a shabby kind of style, and I'm like, oh yeah, P, I got you. I will raise you, and here's what I got. So I did use, this set is from the, this is the Dimensional Box, a Parisian set. It has an Eiffel Tower, and I used one of the fleur-de-lis out of this one. I used one of these, layered flourishes. She has two different kinds, and the cool thing is, I put them in the same thing. You get the thinner part, it's a 2-layer one, so you get the front and the shadow. The main one, the shadow. I used some clock keys. I used a few of these Steampunk fan blades. These I've cut up, and there's like one of the clock keys in there. I cut up in so many different ways. You can use this in so many ways, and I'll show you guys how I use this. I used 2 of these feather-shaped set, and these things are so dainty and delicate. And I was able to bend them, and they still stood still. I mean, they kept their shape and everything, and I just really love the way these came out. And I only used the little ones, so imagine what you could do with the big ones. Oh, I used the Layered Flourish Chloe. Alright, and then this is the Steampunk Hearts. Now, you get this large Steampunk Heart, and then you get this one. And the 2 sizes in this size, and these are double layered as well. And in the smaller size, I use this version of the smaller size. So let me show you what I use. And this is all cardstock, cream cardstock, 2 chipboard sets. Oh, let me show you the other ones. Sorry, I got totally carried away with myself. And I also used, this is the Art Doll, female, large, and you get the body, the arms, and the legs, and they each come in separate sections in the head. So you can make like a marionette, just all kinds of dimensional art and whatnot. And this other one that I use is the Steampunk Cage dress form. I used the cage. I did not use the dress form and stuff, and I'll show you what I made. And I did order these 2 things in the sole purpose of making something to this effect. It just, at that time, I hadn't even thought of like making it just monochromatic or one color or whatnot. Except for until I got D's, P's little, challenge. Oh, and I painted everything, because I do get asked sometimes what I use. I painted the entire thing once it was all glued and set together with this Rust-Oleum 2X Ultra Cover paint and primer. It holds plastic, wood, metal, whatever, all sorts of things. Now, the reason why I love it is it's satin heirloom white. I like to use satin paints because it gives it a nice matte finish, and this is one of the few paints that is true to the color of the cap, and it's heirloom white, so you can use this for your shabby chic, your vintagey, all sorts of stuff. And it sands, if you use fine sandpaper, it sands perfectly. But anyway, I digress. So let me show you what I made. I made a Steampunk Marie Antoinette. A monochromatic steampunk shabby Marie Antoinette. There it is. How you like them apples, P? How you like them apples? I couldn't help myself. So, and if you can, and the funny thing is that's from a movie also. But, I'm just moving my camera around. So this is what I did, and here is the cage. As you can see the cage in there, it's all set. And I started to build the dress underneath the top part, and you can see the cage right there. Here's the dress. We will start with the dress, I guess. Let me show you what I used. I cut out 2.5-inch strips of cream cardstock, and then I punched it with this Martha Stewart punch, with this doily border punch. And I cut out several, and I was punching for like an hour. And then I just folded them like this and to make ruffles, and the ruffles go around the entire freaking thing. The entire thing. And you can see the different layers underneath. You can see the different layers and how they go. This thing is being held together by hot glue and a prayer. Okay? So, as you can see, I did all of the layers right here. I did several layers. And then I did this one layer. And this one I made with my paper crimper. With one of these. And I just put the strips through there. And then I also then cut the edge with my pinking shears to give it that extra texture, to give that extra edge, to make it more pliable. And I should have done this to the rose to the doily border as well, but this gives it a nice contrast. And you see here, this is where I use the clock arm and gear pieces, and there's several throughout the piece. There's some right here. I was gonna put stuff in her hair and stuff like that, but then I'm like, you know what, I'm just throwing gears on everything, and I want them to look like they served a purpose. This looks like her dress is like a clockwork kind of situation. And here's where I used the swirl. I actually used one, and I did cut it up because it was so large. It was just huge and gorgeous. I had to cut it up and use it in different sections. There's a piece. Here's a little piece poking out of here. On this side is the top part of it. Some more of the gears. There's the gears back here and right there. And seeing as she's got the whole thing right there. So the front part is I used that paper as well. I cut up a little piece of that paper that I used my paper crimper for. And then to make the bodice, I used that doily border punch. And here is another one of those pieces. I used several of those pieces with the clock arms, but I took that out because it looked like it would stab her in the face. Here's one of the feathers, and look, you can see I made it wavy, and I actually did give her a bust and everything underneath, and then I just built on top of that. And here is her hair. You know, Marie Antoinette had this big, huge, lavish hair with another one of the feathers, and you can see I bent it and I kind of gave it a little bit of wave, and it kept that shape. Let me show you the back. And here's the hair. I kept it a little bit abstract. I didn't want it to be like just perfect, and she doesn't have a face. See, and I wanted to keep, oh, now you can see my other thing that it actually moves. And I wanted to keep it abstract, and I cut some more of that paper with the crimper, and then some I did with the pinking shears and these strips to kind of give her a big to-do on her hairdo. But this is the back, and here's where I used that heart. I was going to put a clock key in here, but I just felt like it was too obvious. I don't like to be too obvious in some of my projects. It would just have been too easy. And so here it is. I used this, and I thought it was gorgeous because it's in the back, and you can see some of the gears from the front, but it still had, when you look at it, it has like a whole different look to it. And here I just punched out a heart. I used another one of this gear right underneath here actually came from one of the little pieces that I used. One of, if I can grab it, one of these pieces. Seriously, like, I need more of these. Super, super awesome. And then on top of that, I put this very thick fleur-de-lis to obviously show that, you know, it's French and everything. And it just layers, and it looks like this gear, it looks like it would be turned by these other smaller gears. So, yes. And in her hand, you guys can see I put in a clock hand. And I was going to put a piece of cake. You know, her big famous quote was, "Let 'em eat cake." But I'm like, no, let's make it more, you know, keep it steampunk. And I just felt like she was just, you know, like declaring, "Let them eat cake." And see, and look, I painted it, and then I bent it, painted again, and the arms actually move. Like, "Let them eat cake, you fools." I don't know, I have issues. My coffee's barely kicking in. The head also turns. And I used, where are my little, oh, all I did, I just used these little, what are these? Mini fasteners. And if you really know, I mean, these things are tiny, but they actually have the, you can see right there, the indentation like a Phillips or a flathead screwdriver. So you really can't see because I spray painted them so much on them, so I could have just used Brad's. You can kind of see it on this one and see a little bit of the messed up paint. But this one also, it moves, her hand moves, the whole, I wanted it to be posable like a marionette at the same time. So it moves. And this one was, it looks like it's just holding her skirt down, whereas this one's like, "No, viva la resistance," which kind of contradictory. But I digress. So yeah, and that's how I made the bodice and everything. And I totally love it. And I like that I was actually going to be a real jerk and make it to the point where I can easily take off the head. So, because Marie Antoinette, got sent to the guillotine. And so that way, but that kind of, every time I move the head, it reminds me of that. And I kind of crack up because it is kind of funny, but it's kind of mean at the same time. But it's still kind of cool. Hey, at least she enjoyed herself. She ate cake, bought tons of stuff, and was called Madame Deficit for a reason. I want that to be my problem. But anyway, I digress. So that is my project, you guys. My shabby chic monochromatic steampunk Marie Antoinette. What do you think about it? How you like them apples, P? How you like them apples? She's gonna text me like, have you lost your mind? Anyway, but there it is, you guys. I hope you like it. Let me know what you guys think. And this thing actually stands, for once I actually have my ruler close by. It actually stands about almost 13 inches high. So I got, it was, got a little carried away with it. And I just, instead of the steampunk dress form, I just glued the body, the torso to this, to the base. And I just think it's super cool how it still moves. It's like, let me out here. But anyway, this is my mind. So yes, I hope you guys like it. And check out Gina's designs. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, everyone.